Hey, Logan here. Great to be with you for another video. And normally I love to talk about positive things. I like to focus on the great things about our industry and what we can do to raise our industry. So today is a little bit of a negative topic essentially, but it's an incredibly important topic because for all of us, we're going to deal with negativity along the journey. We're going to deal with negative people, friends and family, trolls on social media, all that kind of stuff. People will come up throughout your business build, throughout your personal development journey, throughout your freedom, and be negative. They will not support you. And unfortunately, that can happen from day one. You can come home from the launch party, you've come home from the coffee meeting with the friend, you've got the box of stuff, and straight away you've got a negative spouse. Or you have your first social media post, your first Instagram post, where you're talking about what you're doing, you're talking about how excited you are, and scam, I tried that, didn't work, blah, blah. We get all these negative people on it straight away. Now, obviously that's gonna bring us down. Obviously that's gonna take the energy out of ourselves, the punch in the guts that's just gonna knock us over. But unfortunately, it's part of the journey too. And it is part of the personal development growth. How we grow ourselves and we build our belief and we get stronger so that we don't let these little things bring us down. Because what we need to understand is the mindset of the negative person, okay? Dogs do not bark at parked cars. They only bark at cars that are driving past. So we need to understand that as well, is that if you're just sitting there doing nothing, people won't be negative. It's one of the great paradoxes of society. If I had no money, I was overweight, our marriage was falling apart, I was constantly working and never seeing my kids, no one would say anything. People would just be like, man, Andrew's working hard, look how committed he is to his job, ignoring the fact that I'm stressed out, I'm eating terribly, I'm living off caffeine, haven't been to the gym in forever, our marriage is like on the rocks because we never see each other, kids don't know who their father is, I've got no money in the bank, nothing put away for them, all of those things. And people won't say a word. But if you do something different, if you try and break this thing, you say, you know what, I am gonna try and lose weight, I'm gonna eat a bit better, I am gonna fix up my energy, I'm gonna fix up my sleep cycles, I'm gonna fix up my financial situation so I've got more time with my partner, more time with my family, all those sorts of things, I'm gonna dream a little bit bigger, oh man, do people come. And they want you to stay in the middle. And I think especially Australians, I'm obviously Australian, we strive to be in the middle. We talk about the good old Aussie battler, and it's a badge of pride to battle. It's a badge of pride to struggle through every week. Like we have this thing where if you're struggling, that is good. And if you have money and if you have freedom, you must be greedy, or you must be a drug dealer, or you must be ripping people off. There is no respect in that regard. So what we do need to understand is, first of all, before we even look at a couple of strategies here, is that if you're doing something different, that's gonna annoy some people and it's gonna offend some people because at the end of the day, they're unhappy in their own life and they're looking at you trying to change their life. And the projection is to hate on it, okay? If they're sitting there like, well, what makes you think you can get out of this? We're all in this together. How dare you put your head above the crowd? And that tall poppy syndrome. And they project out to that. But the reality is it's from what's happening inside. I've never, ever had negativity from someone who was happy. I've never, ever had someone who is rich, wealthy, happy, say to me, I'm not happy with what you're doing. Now they may say, look, it's not for me, it's not my thing, I do this thing, but hey, good luck with it. Best of luck. I support your hustle, I support your energy. I've never, ever met a hater who's doing better than me. So what we just need to understand is that, it is part of the journey. And if I'm getting haters, it means I'm doing something. I'm making enough of a ripple, I'm making enough of effect that people are noticing. Dale Carnegie says it, if you don't want to be criticized, condemned, or criticized, condemned or something, do nothing. That's the only way to not be criticized or condemned, is to just do absolutely nothing. So you're doing something and you're letting people see that. So first of all, that's great. Second thing, of course, is that, no matter what level you go to, there's always going to be new challenges. And we'll talk about this more in kind of tip number 3, but the reality is there's always going to be haters. There'll be haters at the start, but then as you get results, they'll quieten off, but then a new set of haters will come in and new challenges will come in. But as Jim Rohn says, don't wish it was easier, wish you were better. So it's not that we get rid of them, we get better at handling them. So I want to give you 3 tips on what you can do to help you through that process. So the first one is lead with kindness. Kill them with kindness at the end of the day. Because that, as we said before, that negativity, that negative energy, that hate that they're bringing out, it's because they're unhappy. At the end of the day, they'd never admit it. They'll never tell you that. They're just going to project that onto you. So while it is, you really want to, and we've all been there, you really want to sit there and just, have a go back at them. Say, you know what? Obviously something's in their life where they felt the need to get on my social media and have a go at me. They felt the need to just absolutely unleash at me. They must have had a pretty crap day. And as much as I want to have a go back at them, you know what? I'm going to be kind. I'm just going to go first. I'm going to lead with kindness. We need more kindness in this world. So recently, someone commented on a Facebook ad for my book, and someone commented that there was a typo in the ad. Okay? Whoops. There was a typo in the ad, and someone got on and was like, oh, that must be a really good book. If there's typos in this, imagine how crap the book is. I would never buy it. And, of course, stuff like that. It's like, oh man, come on. What did I do? Yes, I made a mistake. Yes, there was a typo. Whoops. Didn't get picked up. The ad's out there. It's gone through, and no one else had noticed. This ad had been running for ages. No one else had noticed it. It certainly wasn't major, but this person has, and they got in. And I thought, you know what? All I can do is just be kind back. And I said, hey, thank you so much for pointing that out. I hadn't noticed it. No one else had noticed it. You know what? There may be some mistakes in the book too. We are all human. I have made many mistakes in my life, but thank you so much. I will go in and fix that now. And straight away, she came back with, you know what? We're all human. Don't worry about it. Have a great day. And it was just immediate, that 180-degree turnaround in her, because she'd been negative. And again, I know she wasn't hating. I know she just had a bit of a bad day. And she was just like, you know what? I'm gonna come back with kindness. I'm gonna sit there and just thank you. Thank you for letting me know. Thank you for helping me become better. You know what? I know that there are probably typos in that book. I'm a one-man band. I'm just trying to get that thing out there. I'm just trying to help people. I was never that good at English at school, but hey, it's out there now. And if it helps people, even with a few typos, then my goal is done. Thank you. And I killed her with kindness, and she came back straight away with kindness too, because I went first. If I'd had a go at her, whoosh, that thing would have blown up, right? So the second one is we ignore. And this is hard. This is really hard to do. But you kill a fire by taking away oxygen, right? So one of the best ways to drown out negativity and remove negative energy is to ignore it. And again, it's very hard. It's incredibly hard sometimes. And we all have to go through that personal development journey where we say, you know what? This person has come in, they've commented on my post, they've said something, and you know what? They must have had a really bad day. And there are people who will buy tickets to a football game just to go and boo people, and that's just who they are. And I can't, change that. All I can do is lead. Now, so for this one, again, recent example. I did a post, it was an Instagram post, and I was talking about money mindset. I was talking about just some, money beliefs that people hold on to, the stuff I love to talk about, done a video on the same thing, and this person came in and kind of trolled it. And the thing was that what they were trolling with had absolutely nothing to do with what the video was. And it was just a complete troll job at me. Now, the problem was, unfortunately, this was a person who I knew from years ago, who had approached us years ago about joining our business. They'd come in and they'd come in with very big goals, very big, financial goals, all those sorts of things. And, we had done everything we could to help them. They'd dropped off, they'd disappeared, they hadn't reached their goals, etc. But we hadn't had any contact in years. And it was like, okay, that's a shame. So when he came in, and it was like, man, I haven't even heard of this person in years. They just kind of dropped off and they left the groups and all those sorts of things. What was it about today that made them just unleash? What was it? And I kind of just went in and I checked their Instagram to just see, was their life all right? What was going on? Okay. And they hadn't posted in years. I was like, what made them just jump back into Instagram today and get negative at me? but I just had to ignore. I just had to say, you know what, like I don't know. I don't actually know this person well enough at the end of the day to really dig any deeper. We had a business relationship years and years ago. I did what I could, and I don't know what else I can do at this point. I just need to ignore it. And I just need to focus on the nice comments and the people who had said like, yeah, great reel, blah, blah. I just needed to focus on those things because that energy, I couldn't win that fight. And I didn't want to get into that fight. I didn't want to go down that path with that person and have that conversation, especially in a social situation like social media. So this one is hard, but it is something we need to do. Because again, the people, like the real negative people, the people who are just stuck in that place and they have that energy and they're holding on to something, they're holding on to an old belief, they're holding on to an old result, they're holding on to an old failure or challenge in their life, like they live off the drama. They want you to bite back. He's put that fishing line out there and he's waiting for me to bite because he wants that fight. He wants to bring these things out. So the greatest thing I can do is just bless, release, and ignore. So you know what? I hope he's successful in whatever he takes on. I hope he has a great life. You know what? I'm just going to ignore it and move on. Now the last one, and we sort of talked about this a little bit before, is results. One of the best ways to quieten the negativity is results. Now, as I said before, as we grow with our results, new negativity will come in. So there's going to be negative at the start and they'll say, that thing will never work. So we make it work. And then when we make it work, then you'll say people like, oh, you're just greedy. Look at where you're at now. So we keep growing. And this is part of the progress. And we focus on always growing. And we outgrow and we like either kill them with kindness or we just ignore them and we let our results grow us to the next level. Now at the next level, there will be a new devil. There's a new devil at every level kind of stuff. But that drives me. And so my mindset on this one, and the analogy I've always used is I played a lot of sport growing up. And anyone who played a lot of sport, whatever the sport was, there was always that, I'd love to win the grand final at the opposition stadium. There's that little bit of extra energy in going into the opposition stadium and walking out with a victory. Now, I'm not saying like proving people wrong is like, something you should always focus on, okay? Because that can lead to a bit of a chip on the shoulder and that can be a little bit unhealthy at times. But just that drive of, you know what? There's nothing better than just winning in the opposition stadium. And I'm not going to make a big thing about it. I'm not going to turn around and give it to the crowd. I'm not going to be one of those people or anything like that. I could just think nothing more of kicking the winning goal, walking off my team and celebrating, but in their stadium, because that would hurt more. That would just make that victory a little bit sweeter and that would hurt a little bit more for them. And that's the competitive side of things. And again, I'm not saying go out with the intention of having a chip on your shoulder. I'm saying that results are great. And there is nothing sweeter than having the results. So when they do come in, it's easier to ignore. When someone says it doesn't work, you can say, well, you know what? I'm sorry that it didn't work for you, but it has worked for me. And our results prove it. Here's our results. So we faced a lot of negativity when we started Angie and I. We faced a lot of negativity from our friends and our closest family and closest friends, I should say. And there's nothing better at the end of the day than knowing that we got through that. I didn't do it to prove them wrong. I just used that energy to drive me further to say, you know what, I have to show that we made a commitment, or show that we're going to be the people who break the trend. Show that we're the ones that prove that this can be done. We're going to be the people who show that you can build this network marketing business well and create freedom. And that drove me to always do this with integrity and financial goals and mindset and business skills, all those things that I love to talk about, because that was the drive that we're going to show people that you can do this without being annoying. You can do this without losing your friends and family. We're going to grow and show those results and show them that it can be done, because that's the best proof. So these are three things. These are three mindsets that we can use. Guys, they will always come up. They will always be there. But it's proof that you are doing something different. It's proof that you are growing. It's proof that you are going out and making changes in your life. And we just remember it comes back to the people are holding on to something. People are holding on to something. People are just holding on to an old belief. People are holding on to some old negativity. Or people are saying, you know what, I tried that, it didn't work. And say, well, you know what, I'm gonna do it and show you that it can work. And you may even see what we've done and say, you know what, they did it the right way, I'm gonna give it a second go. Or I'm not gonna sit there and be so negative about it anymore because I know it can be done because I've seen it be done. So guys, 3 tips for dealing with the haters. I hope that helps. As always, if you got value out of this, don't forget to click like and subscribe. Drop a comment below. Let me know what you think. Let me know how you go. Love to hear your feedback. And guys, until the next video, I'll see you then.